Ladies and gentlemen, what's poppin'? It's your boy Sim, and I'm here with Tony Crow. And this is just a short one, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little short one. And, we'll try to get on later on this week. But Nas and 21 Savage did a collaboration. It's called One Mic, One Gun. And Tony, I know you listened to it. I listened to it. I want to get your thoughts on it and, break down some of the things that we heard in it. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts? Just right off the top, the fact that they're doing a collab, what's your thoughts?
I think that's great. Great message to the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it, let's get money together.
You know,
You know what I mean?
yeah, because like Nas really could have said, "I'm gonna get this kid a spanking real quick." You know what I'm saying? Let me give him a spanking, let him know what's going on. But instead, I went in a totally different direction. Like, nah, we're gonna. I'm not gonna give him a spanking. We gonna make some music. As a matter of fact, Nas did a post on Instagram, and he said when he announced that his song was coming, he said Nas and 21 Savage tonight. Only way we moving is with love, respect, and unity. The foundational principles of hip hop. Excited to collaborate with my young brother, and I hope more artists use turbulent moments and turn them into time to make new art. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because, back in the day, Nas might have struck. You know what I mean? And did something, came at him, and who knows, then a whole nother beef break out. Instead, this time it's like, nah, we're gonna go a different route. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, especially after in King's Disease 3, you had Beef, right? The song Beef.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where he's talking, he personifies beef, and then you have Don't Shoot. You know what I mean? Where he's talking about obviously, not shooting. And basically he, with those two songs, what the message he's getting over is, yo, let's find another way to resolve conflict. And I don't know how much
It's,
this was even a conflict between the two for real, but publicly it squashes any chance that people could say, yo, there's a beef between the two.
I mean, look at it, Sam. We heard about it. We did a video on it, right?
Right.
His brother responded. You know what I mean? Any rapper affiliated with Nas that has done an interview in the last 2 weeks has been asked, "Yo, what do you think about 21 Savage
Right.
and what he said about Nas?"
Right.
You know what I mean? So it can escalate and it not even be those two guys. You know what I mean? The most of the time when there is a issue between artists and it ends up being more than just a verbal sparring or even between the two artists, it's the entourages, it's the people around them that
Right.
you know. So rather than let granted, I didn't think this was going to turn into anything, but rather than it even turning into just any type of negative energy,
Yeah.
let's turn it into a positive
Positive
movement
energy.
and something that the world could reflect on, the
Exactly.
other artists could reflect on.
Exactly. And it like, we talk about Nas with this whole King Disease trilogy has, tried to really bridge the gap between old school artists and new school artists. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is another way that's bridging that gap. And you had said earlier, as we were talking, this sounds like something when you listen to some of the lyrics that's in the song. It sounds like something where him and Nas had a conversation, right? Whoever addressed who or called who or whatever, they had a conversation. You know what I mean? And then um, obviously it came out. Okay, we had this conversation, like you said. Now let's do this song together, and we're gonna show the world how it's done. You know what I mean, like that's what it is. That's what it's about, and that's what like Nas and them didn't have the elder statesmen doing this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's big, you know what I mean? As far as just continuing to move hip hop forward, you know. It shows one, some people who, you know, because all on Twitter, you know, oh yeah, Nas is irrelevant. No, he's not irrelevant. You know, most of the time it's younger people and older people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now that do something together, you know, you can have some young people say, oh, 21 Savage made him relevant. You know, I mean, whatever. You know, people going to do that. But it opens up some people who may not have heard of Nas or heard of him, but not really listening to Nas, opens them up because they say, oh, yo, he did a joint with 21. Let me hear it. Right? And then if you heard Nas on the track, most people that hear it is gonna say, yo, this dude is nasty. let me see what this King Disease 3 is about. And then go back and listen to him some more because Nas went crazy on it. You know, and then older people, I'm sure, you know, people our age, you know, we've heard 21 Savage. Not sure all of us listen to everything that he's done, but you know, we might listen to some joints. But
I like Savage more as a person
mm-hmm.
than I do actually listening to his music.
Yeah.
But I've checked out numerous interviews in the past. He's a smart dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's always been a little bit removed from the negativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little like move smart. So it was fitting that if they had that conversation, I could only imagine that it went very, very smoothly. You know what I mean? Like very insightful.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, go ahead. My bad.
Nah. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? And I think older people probably gain a new respect for 21. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that they're gonna all go and just, you know, listen to all of his music. Same way, you know, they may not go and listen to all of Nas music, but there's a new respect there. And I think it then, because you heard, you know, a bunch of people like, yo, you know, you gotta respect the legends. You know what I'm saying? You can't come out against legends like that. You know what I mean? Which is good because it wasn't always like that.
It was not.
Wasn't always like that. So, you know, people and it wasn't just older rappers stepping up, it was younger people too. Right? I mean, you know, Kodak Black is 21 got their thing going, but you know, there was 21 did his whole Instagram joint, you know, like where he starts singing, I Know I Can. I thought that was hilarious that's the song that he picked. Right?
But
Not
think
that
about
I
it.
don't like it.
He was probably 6-7 years old
Yeah.
when that came out, and it probably did. You know what I mean? It probably did do something for him.
Yeah. Nah.
Like, yo,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like that's that he was the targeted audience at the
Yeah,
time.
no doubt. That joint was just funny though. I was like, dang, he's singing I Can though. Like that's the one you chose to, you know, say how Nas is that dude. Like that's the joint you chose. Not that I don't like I Can, but you know what I mean. That joint was kind of hilarious a little bit.
It made me feel old. But
you know, but nah, I think it's I like the fact that they did this. You know what I'm saying? I think it's pretty dope that, you know, they did it this way. And I definitely think it sends a message throughout, you know, hip hop as a whole. So let's listen to a couple of the verses, couple of, you know, little bit of it, and, you know, talk about what we heard, you know, and right off top, you know, I like some of the things that 21 says, but, you know, let's check it out.
Ain't no back and forth, ain't no left or right. 21. I got King's disease, but I move like a knight. 21. Rappers bandwagon trying to get some light. 21. I do it for the fam, never for the hype. 21. When you turn a legend, no such thing as relevance. 21. They must have forgot that I'm a new rapper that got integrity. 21.
All right, so I'm gonna just stop it right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say he's walking it backwards, but maybe, like you said, the conversation just led him to see, yeah, once you become a legend,
no such thing
as relevance. You know what I mean? You're always, because I was thinking about this, right? And I'm like, Michael Jackson is always relevant. Like it's some people that you can't. They're never not going to be relevant. You know what I mean? Prince is always going to be relevant. You know what I mean? You know, and just over the past, when I started thinking about that, over the past week, I heard Michael Jackson songs. Walking in stores, I'm hearing Michael Jackson songs. You know what I mean? You know, going to different places. I'm 3, 4, 5 times, and I heard something from Michael Jackson being played. How much more relevant can you get? You know what I mean? And maybe through that conversation, he realized, like, yeah, you know, ain't no way that you can. So always gonna be relevant.
Yeah.
When you reach a certain point.
And before reaching that point, is no telling which way you could go. Like you could be like nobody checking for you at all. You know what I mean? Or you could be steady, but not reach that legend status, and then it all goes away. Right. So
yeah. All right, let's hear a little bit more. Because, you know, obviously, you know, we got to get the Nas, too.
All in the media and blogs, that's just a place I don't care to be. 21. Most of these niggas wouldn't say shit if they was ahead of me.
No back and forth, I did it back then, I do it right now. I open a lane for my era, I'm goated, they gave me the crown. Go, with all the success, come negative press, I'm watching it pal. They saying that black music dying, I'm saying they ripe in the South.
All right, let me stop it right there. Right? Because that's one of the insightful parts that Nas said. First of all, the flow is clean. I mean, Nas is flowing clean, like sharp and clean nowadays. The flow is clean. That, you know, without a doubt. But he said, they're saying that hip hop is dying. But, you know, whatever. To me, it looks like they're wiping us out. You know what I'm saying? Tony, what do you take from just that right there?
I mean, rappers are literally dying once a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yep. More than that, but you know what I mean? Headlined once a month.
Once a month. You know what I'm saying?
They wiping us out.
Right.
Or we're wiping us out, depending on, you know.
Depending on how you look at it. You know what I mean? You know, what the crazy thing is, it's always been, you know, you get too powerful, you know, all of our leaders, right? Once you get too powerful and you have such a big voice and you're influencing the world, oh, you know, we got to do something about this. You know what I mean? Now, you know, we're playing a role in it, obviously, you know what I mean? And, you know, from the kids on the street to rappers, you know, no doubt we're playing a role in it. And, you know, it's something that, you know, that's what is so positive about the song, the collab, them two coming together, say, nah, okay, we had this, you know, this is how we do it as adults. You know what I mean? Hopefully it sets that example for kids out here in the street and for all the rappers that's going through whatever they're going through. You know what I mean? And it ends up in gunfire or death or whatever it is. You know?
And yeah. Before you go on, I just wanted to reference 21's last bar was most of y'all wouldn't have talked to me if y'all was ahead of me or something to that effect.
Something to that effect.
Which, you know what I mean, which is what made me say what I said off air about they had that conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most people wouldn't have talked to you. They would have just gave you some bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just gave you a spanking.
Right.
So
and nobody would have blamed Nas for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would have blamed Nas for doing it.
But look at me now, damn, y'all, look at me now. Whatever I do isn't why, I'm keeping it Queens, cause that's my side. I shook up the town, I shook up the city, I shook up the state. I went 21 on my second run, that shit come with age. It's a conversation, it's determination, your interpretation. I just shot the nation. Did my tour with the Woo, I came back and I set the pace. They just ran in, one of my crips and took what I replaced it. Two Caucasians, so part of their faces. Most of y'all assume that they was black as exploitation.
All right, let me stop it right there. Right? He talks about, I'm sure everybody knows when Nas was promoting his album in New York. His home in LA got robbed. So he speaks on it there by saying, they robbed him, they took whatever, he replaced it. But then, he goes in and says, they two Caucasians, he's seen their faces, but most of y'all thought it was black people that do it, right? Just going into that whole stereotype of, you automatically think I'm going to be robbed by my own people when I'm being robbed by Caucasians. And it's a whole thing in LA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's a whole thing. I was watching a Netflix documentary. I didn't even know this happened about, a while ago, this group of teens that was robbing celebrities' homes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's something that's still going on now where, they're finding out, this celebrity is going to be here, here, here. And they go out, watch, stake out the house, do whatever, and then go rob them. And it's crazy because if you seen where Nas's house is in LA, that joint is out in the desert with like 10 acres around it or something like crazy like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's, so they staking them out for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They staking them out for real. But let's listen to,
And,
go ahead.
Prior to that, though, he says it's a conversation. Like all we gotta do is talk. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I forgot what the other two bars were right after that. I lost it, but you know what I mean? It's just saying like, what do you say? Your interpretation. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Let's explain. Let me show you where I'm coming from. And you can tell me why you said what you said. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
They know that I see everything invested in ring. It's cool to be mainstream. I'd rather be timeless. That's if we keep it in P. 21.
21. I'm on that same trajectory. Bullet wounds and jail cells couldn't stop me. This my destiny. Never controversial. I'm mad the fans expected less from me. Niggas sneeze around me, wipe his nose, don't get no bless from me. Fuck the jury, I'd rather buy land and invest successfully. I got all type of stocks and bonds, Kahinde Wiley on my wall, and I'ma pass it to my son. It's savage like the capo, that mean Escobar the Don. One mic.
See, and right there he's gonna say one mic, one gun, but I mean, I respect what he's saying in the verse. You know what I mean? Like you're saying. And this is where I think older people is gonna learn, is gonna respect him more. He's talking about and investing in this and that. Most of the younger kids that listen to him is not on that, but they're gonna hear this and they're gonna and probably be like, oh, hold up, what did he say? And take heed to that a little bit.
But this is why I've always liked him as a person more than his music, because maybe I didn't listen to all of his music, but that's not what I've heard in his music,
right?
In the past, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I used to be like, oh man, this young dude, you know what I mean? He know what he talking about. Like he ain't out here just doing drugs and messing his life up. Like he a smart kid. So. But now he's elevating to the point where he's putting it in music, which I think is another topic, but that's beneficial for the youth to hear things like this as opposed to some of the other music that is going around.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, he says that in the beginning of the verse, when he, Nas was kind of talk about where he is, and then 21 said he comes in and he says, I'm on that trajectory.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Jail couldn't stop me. This is my destiny. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on that trajectory. And elsewhere in the song, he talks about, maybe we missed it already. Maybe haven't gotten to it yet. I don't know. But he says something about I'm trying to be where the legends are at. You know what I mean? All right, let's listen to a little bit more.
One gun, my net worth like 8 figures. I'm working on getting me 9. You know that I'm one of them niggas. I ain't doing no cap in the line. You rappers be chasing the hype. I do it and I don't be trying. I ain't going against no legend, nigga. I'm trying to be next in line. They acting like I just popped. I was platinum before I signed. I went platinum without no features. I put platinum on your mind. This Glock I got 2-tone, and this bitch don't bust no rhyme. They wanna see me flip so they could deport me like I'm shine.
No back and forth, I did it back then, I do it right now. They telling me that I'm the GOAT, I've been here for a while. Go, love me today, hate me tomorrow, no switching my style. 21 Yak, y'all get together, be big for the South. The globe.
And then, you know, right
That's
there,
the big one
Nas
right there.
trying to put his voice in, doing his Farrakhan thing. You know what I'm saying? 21 Yak, y'all get together.
It's
You know,
big for the
big
South.
for the South. You know what I mean? Doing it on the song that they did together. Now, you know what makes me? I wonder, were they together when they did it, and he still put it on there? Like, or did it come up in the conversation?
Afterwards,
Or did 21 do his, Nas did his, and now 21 is hearing it like, oh snap, he said that on there. I ain't know. It'd be because we all know, Kodak came out and you said what he said, supporting Nas, this and that. But now you got Nas saying, yo, y'all get together, it'd be big for the South. It'd be nice to see them actually put it to rest, do a joint together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I'm saying?
we have a Fulio in the chat.
Yeah. Emphasis on fool. You know what I mean? Emphasis on fool. Because where he's jumping in and talking about was the song dope or not, we're talking about the purpose and the meaning behind the song, which supersedes whether or not you think it's dope. You know what I mean? Supersedes that. But do you think
And we have a troll in public, the Public Enemy.
what he say? Yeah.
Earlier up there, he talk about Nas got a ghostwriter. Now he talk about Quentin Miller's his ghostwriter.
Man, people been saying it for years that Nas got a ghostwriter, this and that, whatever. I mean, listen, every single artist, if you look at the credits, there's gonna be other people that have written on the track. I don't care if Tony writes a song and he says, yo, Sam, what word you think will go good here? I can't find the right word. What do you think? And I say, oh, well, why don't you try this? He said, oh yeah, that works. Boom. I could get writer credit. If somebody writes the hook of the song or if somebody else sings the hook of the song, they could get credit. You know what I mean? Every single person out there. As a matter of fact, if you have a writer who writes a book, they write the book, then they send it to the editor. The editor may edit some things.
Get writer's credit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that writer didn't write the book. It wasn't their creativity. You know what I mean? I ain't paying attention to that dude, man. But Tony, how big would it be? I don't know how big, like, I don't know, but what would it mean if then 21 and Kodak was able to do something together, after this came out?
I think the fact that Nas said it is like, I don't know how big it would be for the South because I'm not in the South. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know what's really going on out there.
Right.
But the meaning behind them getting on the record together is bigger than what the actual record could. Basically, what you just said to Josh, tenfold. You know what I mean? Yeah. With these two, like, instead of beefing, instead of going back and forth, let's show a different message.
Right.
It's too much important stuff going on in this world right now to be arguing and bickering and fighting and beefing over stuff that's not important.
Yeah, especially
when people are dying, and then next week you might have to be like, oh man, like, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, such and such.
And this kind of goes
arguing for.
Right. And this kind of goes back to the conversation me, you, and Eru was having last night. You know what I'm saying? Just about being able to support one another, not always having to be in competition with one another, but being able to support one another. We're talking about our people, right? Being able to support one another, not always in competition. I got the biggest car, I got the biggest house, the flyest sneakers, whatever. Being able to say, yo, I got you. I'm gonna help you get to where you want to go. You help me get where I want to go, and we're gonna help some other people get where they want to go. I mean, it leads back to that, and I think, just being able to, I don't even want to say squash a beef, but put the fire out before it even starts. You know what I'm saying? By doing this, I think, that's what you do. You know what I mean? And to Uncle Fulio, who was arguing that Nas is not relevant, back then, you know what I mean? We did another show. I don't know if we did another show. He was in the chat, and I was saying how even artists like Chuck D, you know what I mean, is still relevant in hip hop because Chuck D and KRS-One, like they formed this hip hop union, which is breaking down walls, you know what I'm saying, and moving the culture forward. Nas is in a whole new realm. Jay-Z, these guys in a whole new realm. You know what I'm saying? A realm, like 21 said, that he wants to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's moving the culture forward because the culture never been here before.
And like you said, a realm that hasn't existed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like this is so now you can look and like
right,
that realm wasn't there before.
Right.
I could get there.
Exactly.
And then you could be like, oh, maybe I can even go further. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so like, people that came before, they're still moving the culture forward, breaking down new walls just in a different way. You know what I'm saying? When you're younger, you do it from the creative side. When you're older, you might do it more from the business side. You know what I'm saying? And so the younger artists they're innovating. They're innovating. The artists that came before then, are going to a new level because we're in a space that hip hop hasn't been in before. You know what I mean? And the older guys is doing things a little bit more behind the scenes that's going to set it up so that some of these younger artists coming up today, have, some foundations behind them. So, you know what I mean? I'm not here to argue with Uncle Fulio tonight. It's 1:00 in the morning. This man wants to argue. You know what I'm saying? This man wants to argue. I'm not here to argue. This whole show is supposed to be about peace. And he wants to come in and argue. I'm not arguing with Uncle Fulio. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play the remainder of the track.
But look at me now, damn, y'all, look at me now. Whatever I do is New York, you hear that shit all in my vowels. I shook up the town, I shook up the city, I shook up the state. I'm one of them ones on my second run, I'm on a new wave. Two kings, we sending love to the whole culture. 21 Esco, Mass Appeal, Slaughter Gang. This shit too easy.
Yeah, that's I say it's a dope track. I don't know what Uncle Fulio's talk about. And Uncle Fulio, you did. I mean, literally, he put in the chat back then, he isn't. Remember, Tony, me and you was looking, and we were like, is he saying he's not relevant or something else? Because he put in he isn't. He likes to twist the truth. You know what I mean? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I seen someone earlier in the chat say, is this true? You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's true. Nas and 21 did a joint. It's called One Mic, One Gun. I think it's a pretty dope joint. Nas sounds sharp on it, but beyond that, it's the message behind the song that is what means something. You know what I mean? The message behind the song. So.
And I just want to say I am not for cancel culture. I rather conversation culture.
I'm with you. I ain't with all that, cancel culture stuff either. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Have a conversation. You know what I mean? I mean, some people deserve what they get when they do certain things. There's no doubt about that. You know what I mean? If you abused somebody, something like, you deserve what you get. You know what I mean? But we got to start having conversations which clearly Nas and 21 had some kind of conversation, and you see where it ended up. You know? But anyway, Tony, I appreciate your time. I'm going to let Uncle Fulio go ahead and argue. I'm not going to argue with Uncle Fulio. You know what I mean? I'm going to head up out of here. Anything else you want to say before we jump off?
Yo, Black, it's time.
No doubt about it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. We appreciate you. Uncle Fulio, I appreciate you too, my brother. And we can have a conversation too. Peace.